Welcome to Roots Down Flower Up. Today we're doing some bulb planting. We have another video up if you're curious on how to plant bulbs if the ground has been frozen. We did those into pots. Today we're going to plant them straight into the ground. We're very late on planting. We're late by probably 3 to 4 months. However, the ground has not frozen, and so we're going to kind of do a little bit of a lottery here. We're going to put them in and see if we get any winners. So the bulbs we're going to plant today are daffodils. I tend to like the yellow Dutch Masters, which are your standard daffodil, but I saw these at a local garden center and couldn't resist. These are called Tahiti. They're a beautiful double with that nice bright orangey red coming out. And hopefully we'll get some nice daffodils looking like that in just a couple weeks. So first we're going to map out our area and do a little circle going around the lamppost. I've planted this lamppost a million times. It never gets any easier because of all the rocks, and there are electrical wires, so you have to go a little more carefully. That said, this is why we've decided to go with bulbs. That way we can plant them, mulch them, and not have to plant this anymore. Once you have that out, you can start to dig your trench. Don't go too deep with your trench. Otherwise, your daffodils will grow. You just won't get blooms from them. It's a little tough to get through with the trowel. That is because we still have some leftover roots. Just gonna pull and tear out a little bit around here. So we're gonna finish this up by hand because we don't want to get zapped when we come in contact with that wire. These are old roots of previous annuals past. You can either leave them, eventually they do become great organic matter in your soil, but when they're in your way, I like to pull them. Just a little more. Again, making sure it's deep enough, but not too deep. All right, that is good. These particular daffodil bulbs are only sold in packages of 8. So what I like to do is before I actually plant them, I like to lay them out. That way I can readjust if I need to make sure that they're evenly spaced. Because we're 3 to 4 months late, some of them have already begun to grow. That's all right. It's not ideal, but it's all right. They should still bloom unless they're rotted. Into the spots they're gonna go. We've got 8 down. And as you can see, it takes up a little more than half the ring, which is great. That means I can shift them over, tighten them up, so that we have a nice full display here. It's very exciting. Spring is just a few weeks away. These are already well on their way to sprouting, so we won't have to wait too long for the payoff of these gorgeous. The back half. Making sure that the top is facing up, which is easy to do as they have already sprouted. Again, I have finished my circle with 2 remaining bulbs, which is good news because I can go in again and tighten up the circle. You see now why it's important that we place before we bury. If these are buried, I would have to go through all over again and dig them up. Trowel. There we go. Don't have a lot of hope for this one as I'm planting it. I can feel it squishing, which means it's rotted. So no matter what, even if I did put it in, it's not gonna do anything except rot. So we'll save ourselves the heartache of that and not put it in and go through and loosen up our circle again. Okay, once they're in, then we can put the soil back on top. Gently sprinkle it. If you just push it in right away, what'll happen is it's going to knock your bulbs over, and then they'll no longer be facing upright. So it is important to go through and put the soil in gently so that it holds them in the upright position before we start to really bury. Bits of green peeking through. As I mentioned, this is a garden that I no longer want to plant because of all the obstacles that are in it. And we're also trying to simplify our home garden. So now I'm gonna go grab my mulch. As I mentioned earlier in the video, this is a garden that I no longer want to plant because of the obstacles of rocks, roots, electrical wires. So I'm gonna get the mulch, we're gonna put it on top, and it's gonna be nice and simple. Mulch comes in a variety of different colors and different styles. They're available at any garden center or hardware store. I always recommend shopping local before you go big box. It's best to support the people in our communities, but hey, a deal's a deal. Today we're using Jolly Gardener, and we're using dark mulch because I like the way that looks. Really, it comes down to aesthetic on what you prefer. I like the dark mulch as it always highlights the plants over the mulch. Pour it down. There we go. You never want to go too deep with your mulch. 1 to 2 inches is really ideal. Past that, you can get into issues with rot. So because I've dumped it out and it's pretty deep, we're gonna go back in and we're gonna spread it out a little bit. Spread it, neaten it up. I'm not too worried like areas like this because our grass will fill all of that in later. nice thing about mulch, aside from the fact that it gives all your projects a nice finished look, is that it will break down and become fresh soil and organic matter in your garden beds. It will also hold the moisture in, so when you've watered, it doesn't evaporate right away. It will stay in the soil and benefit the plants. Also, will keep your ground a little on the warmer side. So there you have it. Our new daffodil bed.